right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin with our first session on day 2 of the India Today Conclave. First session, special flavors showcase by Pierre Herme, Paris. And for that, I would like to invite on stage our session's moderator, Ms. Rashmi Uday Singh, to tell you a little bit about our moderator today morning. Well, she's a World Gourmet Cookbook Award winner and author of 34 books. Rashmi Uday Singh has had a very strong French connection. She recently researched and wrote the world's first vegetarian guide to Paris. She has a continuing love affair with Paris, with macarons, and is a self-confessed chocoholic. She is not only a regular at Pierre Hermé, as she calls it, Sweet Paradise, but it is included in her award-winning book, A Vegetarian in Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you all to put your hands together for our session's moderator, Rashmi Uday Singh, and she'll introduce you to our esteemed guest.
Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Great. It really is going to be a very, very good morning, because you're going to get the most fabulous masterpieces, the greatest sugar highs created by the maestro himself. And these masterpieces, which you're going to get to taste, the macarons and the chocolates, have been crafted, made, especially in Paris, and flown in only for the conclave. So let's give our forthcoming masterpieces a big hand. We're going to get to taste them really soon. I have to confess that I have already eaten a whole lot of them inside for two reasons. One is I couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait, for them to be served here. And the other is I'm a bit woozy because I've taken a flight at 3. I woke up at 3 in the morning, took a flight from Mumbai and came here. Landed here and I'm spaced out, but I'm so happy because for me, this is a dream come true. Because Pierre Hermé is actually seriously acknowledged as the king of patisserie, the Picasso of patisserie. And is he here right now? Is Pierre Hermé here right now? Can we have him in, please? And before he walks in, I would just like to tell you that he has his boutiques and stores all over the world in more than 7 countries. He takes inspiration from all these countries. And he's here in India. We have to ask him, what is it in India which is inspiring him? And will he create a macaron with an Indian flavor? We have to ask him that. Where is the young man? Okay, so till he arrives, I would like to tell you that he has been pronounced as the Picasso of pastry. But I think that is really, by the French Vogue, but I think that is really inaccurate because he's actually a scientist. He has innovated and invented a whole new flavor and taste vocabulary. He is also, according to me, a perfumier. He blends fragrances. He's also a jeweler. You've got to see those masterpieces. They're like jewels, gems, wizardry. He's also a high fashion guru. He makes collections, the fall collection, the summer collection, and he's absolutely unbelievable. And the good news is that we're going to get to taste all of this. And of course, we are also going to get to hear him. So it's all going to be a great pampering of the senses, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful treat. And let's give a big hand to that, please. Thank you. पीछे से. Okay. So, one second, let me move out of here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, do put your hands together for Pierre Hermé.
So here he is then, the Picasso of pastry himself, Pierre Hermé, and with him is his president. They're both going to treat us to a wonderful presentation. But before they do that, I would just like to point out that soon, just look what's arriving. This is what I meant by it's going to be a really good morning. All these wonderful macarons and chocolates flown in specially from Paris. So may I hand this mic over to you? Would you like to speak first?
Thank you. Hello. Yes. Good morning, everybody. Well, thank you for inviting us to this presentation. We will start with a short presentation of the Pierre Hermé company. So just to give you some general explanations of the company, this is the Pierre Hermé Paris is a privately owned company founded, owned, and managed by Pierre Hermé and myself. We started in 1988 when we opened a first shop in Japan.
This is very interesting. They opened their first French patisserie shop in Japan. I mean, it's amazing. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yeah. So today we have expanded the company in several countries throughout Asia Pacific and the Middle East, and we have something like 45 boutiques all over the world. This company is now known as a success story in the world of pastry and chocolate, and this is due to the fact that Pierre Hermé is known as a flavor, taste, and sensation wizard. He's also a great technician. We have developed lots of new concepts in the world of pastry and chocolate. And we have also developed many brands and products that have brought completely new trends in the world of pastry.
Absolutely, which is what I was telling them, that he is much more than a Picasso. He's a scientist, he's a jeweler, he's a perfumier, he's a high fashion guru, makes collections. And in fact, everybody is right now tasting all those wonderful masterpieces of his.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us what they're tasting?
Yeah, I think we have on the tables macarons and chocolates, and I can see that most of you have started to taste them. I will let Pierre Hermé to explain about the flavors that you have in front of you a little bit later. So we'll do that after the presentation of the main issues about the company. So our brand identity and philosophy is that we focus on bringing to connoisseur a journey into taste, sensation, and pleasure. And this is due to three main factors: quality in the ingredients that we use, the know-how that Pierre Hermé has developed, and the creativity. The creativity is really the main focus of the brand, and you will see through the flavors that you have in front of you that this is something that is really important to us. The company Pierre Hermé Paris is also a member of an association called the Comité Colbert, and the Comité Colbert regroups 75 among the most important luxury brands in France.
Those are the luxury brands there?
Yes, exactly.
Dior, Cartier?
Exactly.
So Pierre Hermé is in the company of the same brands there?
So this is a very important association in France because this association wants really to focus on representing what the best part of French art de vivre.
That's brilliant. Let's give a big hand to that, please. Yay. Okay, so is the maestro himself going to explain to us?
Yep. A few things about the quotes about the press. The press has acclaimed Pierre Hermé's work many times. He was quoted as the pastry emperor by the New York Times. the Business Week quoted us as the 15 leading businesses in Europe. Le French newspaper Le Figaro said that we transform chocolate into gold, which is not really true. I have to confess.
Transform chocolate into magic. Gold.
Into magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
A few pictures about different quotes in the press, and also some of our shops throughout the world. This is the picture of our flagship store in Tokyo, a shop in Paris that maybe some of you have visited already. I know that
one many times.
I know that you're a big fan yourself.
We are all fans over here, by the way. So you don't even need to tell us such details because we already know. That's why we are all here early in the morning today on a Saturday. So it's good.
We also have interesting collaborations with hotels like the Raffles in Paris and the Ritz-Carlton in Kyoto, which just opened last month. Of course, we have a website that you can visit at www.pierreherme.com and some mobile applications about macarons and chocolate, and many books that have been published. There's also a story that was presented on CNN Asia, which is available for download on the website of CNN. And well, if somebody is interested in having a copy of this presentation, just leave your contact details for us at the welcome desk, and we'll send it to you by email.
Thank you. Let's put our hands together for him. And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Picasso of pastry himself.
Bonjour, mesdames, bonjour, messieurs. Ah, pardon.
A universe of tastes, sensations, and pleasures. Created by the world-famous pastry chef Pierre Hermé, the Picasso of pastry. Pierre Hermé's flavor combinations have become classics of the French pastry repertoire.
On travaille avec plusieurs producteurs, avec une relation assez étroite. Ça nous permet de proposer des gâteaux qui sont faits avec des produits exceptionnels. Pour nous, une règle de base, c'est la qualité des matières premières.
Using exceptional ingredients with pleasure as a guide, he reinvents tastes and creates unequaled chocolate sensations. Pierre Hermé Paris macarons and chocolate have become high fashion accessories, the ultimate in culinary chic. Filled with irresistible objects of temptation, his iconic boutiques are where inspiration meets perfection. Pierre Hermé Paris, the architecture of taste.
Has everybody started eating those macarons and chocolates? If you have any questions, we can ask him as soon as he's ready to answer them.
Bonjour mesdames, bonjour messieurs. Merci d'être aussi nombreux à cette présentation. Et je vais essayer de vous faire passer en quelques mots ma passion et raconter un peu mon métier.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here in such large numbers to listen to my presentation. I'm going to try in a few words to communicate to you my passion.
Alors, je suis né dans une famille de boulangers-pâtissiers, donc je suis la 4e génération. Et dès l'âge de 9 ans, je savais que je voulais être pâtissier. Et ensuite, j'ai eu la chance d'apprendre mon métier chez Le Nôtre, à Paris, à l'âge de 14 ans, où j'ai commencé à travailler.
So I come from a family of 4 generations of bakers and pastry chefs. And right from the age of 9, I knew that this was the career that I was going to take up. I was fortunate to be able to go to Paris at the age of 14 to be trained under Gaston Lenôtre.
Alors, on me demande souvent comment je travaille, comment je crée les produits. C'est assez simple finalement. Très souvent, enfin pas très souvent, c'est guidé par une envie. Cette envie m'est donnée par un produit, par une conversation avec quelqu'un, par une image, par quelque chose que je lis. Et ensuite...
So very often people ask me how I go about creating my products. And it's very simple. Quite often, well actually almost always, the idea comes to me either from an image or a product or from a conversation with someone or from something that I read.
Ensuite, c'est j'ai en tête le goût du produit que je veux, du goût, enfin quand je dis j'ai en tête le goût, la texture, tous les aspects du goût des produits que je veux faire. Ensuite, je le traduis sous forme de dessin, comme vous avez à l'image, et aussi sous forme de recette. Ça veut dire une recette très précise qui permet aux chefs pâtissiers qui travaillent avec moi sur la mise au point des produits de réaliser ces essais.
So I have in my mind the taste and the texture that I want to create, and then I put this down in the form of a drawing, which is got a very precise recipe along with it, and this drawing is given to my team of pastry chefs to work on.
Ensuite, on procède à une dégustation, et la création n'étant pas un processus démocratique, il faut une personne qui décide, parce que c'est comme ça, c'est important. C'est pas un consensus, c'est une personne, celui qui a créé le produit, qui doit décider.
Once the product is made, then we have the tasting, and I must say it's not a democratic process that we follow because we can't really have a consensus that we take on what is the final taste of the product. The person who's created the product is the one who's going to decide what the final taste is and if any changes are required.
Bien sûr, on a des échanges sur les techniques, sur les ingrédients, mais ensuite, il faut décider. Tout ça, ça se fait de manière très naturelle, c'est-à-dire qu'on a toujours en permanence une trentaine ou une quarantaine de produits en cours de développement, aussi bien dans le domaine des macarons que dans les gâteaux, que dans les chocolats. Et puis, il y a aussi des créations sur mesure pour des clients qui prennent aussi un peu de temps. Donc, on a tout ça en permanence en cours.
So we have an exchange perhaps on the technique and on the ingredients, and then a decision is taken on the final recipe for the product. And this is a very natural way in which we work. At any given time, we might have 30 or 40 different products which are being tested in the laboratory. We have this process continuously going on for macarons, for chocolates, for cakes. And we also have a process going on for customized products for people who have asked us to personalize any kind of sweets for them.
Alors, ces produits qu'on appelle produits création sur mesure, haute couture, sont des produits qui sont destinés à un seul client et dont la recette est exclusive. On ne le fera jamais dans les boutiques, on ne le fera jamais pour un autre client. C'est vraiment une création sur mesure. Alors ça peut être un macaron, ça peut être un chocolat, ça peut être un gâteau, ce que notre client désire avoir en exclusivité.
So these tailor-made products are high-end customized products for clients, exclusively for one particular client. The recipe also is exclusive and will never be replicated in any shop or for any other client. And these could be macarons or chocolates or cakes. Any kind of product can be customized.
Alors, depuis très longtemps, j'ai commencé à créer des associations de saveurs. La plus connue, c'est Ispahan, rose, litchi, framboise. Et puis ces associations de saveurs, j'ai décidé de les ériger en fétiches. Alors qu'est-ce que c'est qu'un fétiche?
So for a very long time now, I have been creating blends of flavors, which is a combination of flavors. And perhaps the most well-known of mine is the Ispahan, which is a combination of rose, lychee, and raspberry.
Alors, je disais donc, les fétiches, ça peut être des associations de saveurs que j'ai créées ou que j'ai réinterprétées à ma façon, mais ça peut être aussi un goût unique que j'ai essayé de magnifier, de sublimer, et ça peut être aussi une variation sur un thème qui regroupe un type de gâteau, les tartes, les Saint-Honoré, les Paris-Brest, les babas, les millefeuilles. Donc les fétiches, ça peut être tout ça à la fois.
So as I said, a fetish could also be this association of flavors that I've either created or reinterpreted. It could be a single flavor that I want to enhance or make sublime in a particular product. So it could also have, for example, a variation in themes. I could have a single blend of flavors across a product line, like tarts or baba or the Saint-Honoré or the millefeuille.
So what is the latest fetish? Is it citron?
Alors ça, c'est le fétiche qui est actuellement en boutique. C'est le fétiche infiniment citron. C'est un travail sur le goût du citron. Ça veut dire c'est de rendre le plus expressif possible le citron en travaillant à la fois la saveur citron, donc le zeste, le jus et la peau de différentes façons, avec une qualité de citron qui est exceptionnelle, qui sont des citrons de Sicile.
So this particular fetish is called infiniment citron, which means infinitely lemon, and this is currently in the stores. It is basically a work that has been done on the taste of lemon. So we use lemon juice, lemon rind, the skin of the lemon in different combinations and different balances to be able to create different products.
Ensuite, donc, Ispahan, comme on en a parlé, je voulais juste expliquer l'histoire de cette association de saveurs. J'ai découvert dans les années 84-85 la cuisine bulgare et l'utilisation de la rose dans la cuisine bulgare.
So this is one of our flagship products. It's called Ispahan, and I want to tell you the story about it, about the blend of flavors that make up Ispahan. It was in 1984 or 85 that I came across Bulgarian cuisine and their use of the rose in their cuisine.
Ensuite, j'ai créé en 87 un premier gâteau qui s'appelait le Paradis, qui était uniquement sur le goût rose et framboise. Ce gâteau-là, je l'ai fait pendant 10 ans avec un succès mitigé, on va dire, mais j'ai toujours considéré que c'est une association de saveurs intéressante et importante.
So in 1987, I created a cake using both rose and raspberries, and it was called Paradis or Paradise. And this was a cake which I sold for about 10 years. It had a limited success, but I believed in this combination. I felt more could be done with this combination.
En 97, j'ai eu envie de faire évoluer ce gâteau. Entre-temps, j'avais compris que le litchi avait des parfums de rose. Donc, à ce moment-là, j'ai créé ce gâteau avec un biscuit macaron, une crème à la rose, des framboises et des litchis que j'ai appelé Ispahan. Et dont le succès a été au rendez-vous dès les années 2001. Parce que j'en ai beaucoup parlé, je l'ai fait goûter, et puis qu'entre-temps, nos clients avaient compris le goût de la rose. Et maintenant, lorsqu'on me parle d'un gâteau de la maison, une fois sur deux, on me parle de l'Ispahan.
So in 1997, I changed the recipe and I introduced the lychee into this combination of flavors. So we came out with a pastry which had a macaron biscuit and it had cream based on rose petals, and we also had raspberries and lychees introduced into it. So by 2001, this was a great success. People had started appreciating the taste of rose. And if you ask people about our products, 1 out of 2 is going to talk about Ispahan. It's very well known.
Et
So that's our time.
Ispahan a donné lieu à la publication d'un livre qui est dédié à cette association de saveurs l'année dernière, dont on a vu la photo tout à l'heure.
We have also taken out a book named Ispahan as well, which talks about this blend of flavors.
May I just interrupt with this? This Ispahan, this beautiful, fabulous macaron with rose. This Ispahan has rose, raspberry, and lychee. It's like revolutionary. It's revolutionized patisserie when he introduced it. Is it also true that you use sugar like salt, just and have as a seasoning? Is that true?
Alors, il faut que je remonte un petit peu en arrière, c'est-à-dire que par le passé, et encore aujourd'hui pour certaines préparations, le sucre était utilisé comme un conservateur. Aujourd'hui, on a des moyens de conservation par le froid qui nous permettent d'envisager le sucre différemment et de l'utiliser vraiment comme un assaisonnement. On utilise le sucre comme le sel, effectivement, pour assaisonner les gâteaux. Alors, il y a quelques petites nuances à ça. Ça veut dire que dans certaines préparations, il y a un poids de sucre qui est incontournable parce que c'est ce qui permet de donner la texture et le goût. Mais sinon, partout où je peux, j'utilise vraiment le sucre au minimum, comme un assaisonnement, comme j'utilise du sel. Et je dis toujours que c'est le sel qui met le sucre sur un piédestal. C'est-à-dire que dans beaucoup de préparations, il y a un peu de sel, et c'est justement ce sel qui vient sublimer le goût du sucre.
So in the past, sugar used to be used as a preservative. Sugar was used as a preservative, and now there are different means of preserving food by refrigeration, etc. So I use a very minimal amount of sugar. I use it as a seasoning, and sometimes sugar is needed because it's required for the texture of the product. But I use it as a minimal seasoning, and I use it like salt. In fact, salt highlights the sugar taste in a product.
So our time is up, unfortunately, but we'll keep eating all the wonderful things you've brought for us. Just last thing I would like to ask you is that you have been inspired by Tokyo, China, Bulgaria, all the different flavors. Do you have any flavor for India? Are you going to create any macaron for India? I was told that you've been inspired, please listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, by Valmiki's Ramayana. And now, and that's what I was told by the president. And they're working on those lines. So what would you like to tell us in India?
Alors, l'inspiration pour moi, elle vient de partout. Effectivement, elle peut venir d'un pays que j'ai visité. Elle peut venir d'un produit. C'est des influences qui sont pas, qui sont souvent inconscientes. Et c'est vrai que lorsque je vais dans un pays, j'essaye de m'intéresser à la culture gastronomique, j'essaye de découvrir. Et très souvent, dans cette culture gastronomique, il y a des éléments à puiser que j'arrive à transformer à ma façon. Notamment l'année dernière, j'avais découvert à Hong Kong un thé qui s'appelle le thé des 8 trésors. Et donc j'ai fait un macaron qui va être en vente au mois d'avril.
So influence for me and ideas and inspiration come from everywhere. It could be a country that I visited or a product that I saw. When I visit a country, the gastronomical culture of that country interests me a lot, and I try and see how I can transform it in my own way. Recently, I visited Hong Kong, where I tasted the 8 Treasures tea, and I have made a macaron which is inspired by that.
Thank you very much. It's been fabulous. And thank you for all the wonderful masterpieces. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Pierre Herme and the lovely, delectable macarons you have on your table there. Thank you, Rashmi.